All right, so we got the Russian Ukraine war popping off right now, right?
Right.
And like I seen the article that you sent us, you know what I'm saying, about the US troops going over there in Ukraine and making little mini militias and shit, right?
Right.
Why they ain't do that shit in Afghanistan?
I mean, but
Crickets.
we were like
Crickets.
we were already there though. We'd been there for 20 years. But the better question is, why
Yeah.
didn't we do that in Mexico? Or
Mm.
or another great question, because cartel be dropping bodies, man.
Yeah, left and right. Just leaving them bitches in the street, hanging from a stoplight.
Yeah, like the dude that went over there, he's prior army officer, special force, or not special forces, but leader of a battalion or something. And I always get the army shit mixed up, the battalion and all that different shit. What squad and the numbers is different, but anyways, you know the idea of going somewhere else to teach military tactics, nonverbal communication, hand signs, gestures, street clearing and shit like that. I'm like, so this is like a crash course BMT with, the backdrop being the Russians are on the fucking way. Um, I don't know. I find it somewhat commendable. I know there's a lot of rhetoric around, Europe, World War II, and wanting to be like the old fathers, and the niggas from the 40s that was just that ate steel and shit bricks. Everybody just wants to go back to that time. So and a lot of that's where the so-called colonizers are from. So I think there is this like nationalistic sense to want to fight for something that is perceived as right, that is for the most part right in most people's eyes. But doing this shit on such a budget though, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe you should be better off teaching these people how to run and first aid instead of taking up arms. I don't know. I don't know. From what I've seen so far, the damage has been pretty chaotic. So I'm not sure what it can do. Um, but hey, man, shout out to you for feeling patriotic enough to fly to Ukraine and try to you know put boots on the ground. Um, what do y'all think?
He got bitches there.
Josh with the jokes today, man.
I like I said, I'll be honest. I don't care.
Fair enough. All right, let me see if I can get you to care.
Yeah,
What
try,
if
please.
what if I say, hey Keith,
You got bitches there.
Well, guess I won't
hey
have bitches no more.
hey Keith, I'm feeling really patriotic myself. I want you and Josh, and we got a small bankroll. I want y'all to come to Jamaica with me to help start a small task force to combat gang violence in Jamaica.
Okay.
Um, you live in a
How-
compound. You
You
live in a
said
compound.
you said bankroll. Give me a number.
Um,
17 billion.
let's say let's see the translation.
Batman figures, nigga.
Translation. I got a half a million US dollars, but the half a million US currency would be spent in Jamaica. So you convert that, right? We
No,
got
you
a
converted. You the one Jamaican. Fuck out of here.
hey Josh, hey East Coast, do up the numbers for me. Do 500,000 times 153, and
Oh man.
that'll be our that'll
Don't
be
tell me to
our.
convert it, but I'm going to the country to help your ass. Fuck out of here.
But peep this though, right? But peep
All
this,
right,
right?
so
We have
76,500,000.
yeah, we got 700 and we $76.5 million.
Mhm.
Jamaican dollars, right? We got a
Mhm.
small compound that we operate out of that'll be, the home base. And the idea is, we use coin tactics and, all of that to train a local force to, spot, observe, all of that, right? Because, and not only that, we have, a couple of tier one, maybe tier two operators, right? Maybe we can't afford the tier one operators, but we have a small force that is actually going to train, because we see the rapes, the murders, the just the unsanctioned violence that's going on. And this is my plea to you to help your brothers across the sea.
Okay, me, I would do it to go help train to show them something else, but I wouldn't take arms in another country. That's something I wouldn't do.
Okay. Yeah, and from the story, it's a really gray area, because just like which to me it's like, okay, well, we can send them guns, ammo, and all of that shit, but the buck stops with us putting troops on the ground. When it's like, my nigga, a truckload of ammo and guns can do just as much as a truckload of troops can, and it's like, well,
No, it can't.
as it's sure a bunch
You saying
a
a
truck.
truck full of 50 random niggas is just as effective as a truck full of 50 troops?
I said a truckload of 50 troops versus a truckload of bunch of guns and ammo, right?
And you're saying
Javelin. But I'm not just talking regular. I'm talking about the switchblades, the drones, the javelins and shit like that.
and who's
Not
using and operating on this stuff? Because all you said was guns and ammo.
the people. The
The
people on
guns and
the.
ammo traveling by themselves, man.
That's why I was confused, because he said a truck full of ammo and guns, and then a truck full of troops.
Obviously, in lieu of getting a truck full of U.S. troops, what's the best next thing? A truck full of their guns and ammo, right?
Yeah, but they're not nowhere near just as effective.
In lieu of that's nigga. That's the word, the lieu, nigga. That's the whole part of saying in lieu of. Okay, nigga, I can't get the troops. All right, what's the next best thing? Hey, how about a bunch of their guns and ammo? You gonna take that?
You gonna need some troops for them guns and
Yeah,
ammo.
Well,
that's what
nigga,
I'm
we
saying.
already got people here.
But the troops will still be better because that's more manpower.
Mm.
All right. Okay. All right.
Because you can have trucks of ammo and guns, but if the people don't know how to use it, it's pointless.
I mean, they know how to use it. They've been using them. They've been getting ships and boatloads of guns and ammos and technology
So
for the past
you rather
couple
have,
months.
so you saying the guns and ammo are just that, you saying that's adequate?
What he's saying is he thinks they should get the guns and ammo. That
Mhm.
way, when the Ukraine falls and the Russians take it,
Mhm.
everybody can say, "Oh, the Americans gave them guns and ammo." That's what he's saying.
No, what I'm saying is they've already been using the guns and ammo that we've been supplying them, and it's been somewhat effective. But it's just a matter of the manpower that they have, which they don't. They have been effective so far with the guns and ammo, but overall, they're pretty much outmatched. So what I'm saying is,
So obviously it's not effective then if they're
no,
outmatched.
no, but for example, Russia calculated that this would have been over a long time ago, but they've been
Mhm.
putting up a pretty good fight
Yeah.
because of the weapons and ammo that they've been supplied by, you know, the whole fucking world. Had they not had that, they would have they would have fallen a long time. Well, they're still fighting, but the
Mhm.
fighting would have been, a lot worse.
So
Yeah. So,
are we just delaying the inevitable?
I think so. If they're not able to, figure out some type of peace treaty, but maybe they can't hold out long enough to figure some shit out, which I think is the whole point.
yeah. See, that's why I won't go to another country with a and have a gun. To unless I'm in a United States uniform. But other than that, I would
Mm,
never go to another gun. I would never go to another country even think about a gun.
mm. And I think a lot of times as Americans don't realize that our politics is different from their politics, right? And a lot of times
Mhm.
I think people try to do a one for one. Well, it's like, well, I'm a gun loving Republican that hates, trans people. So I'm gonna try to find the equivalent of that, you know, in the Ukraine people. So whoever sides with the things that I identify with is who I'm gonna support. But it's like, well, they don't give a fuck about the same shit that you do. They're fighting a completely different fight. Just like how we look at China and we trying to dictate shit that China does. Nigga, China been a country like this, like their third or fourth civilization, like the third or fourth time they done started over, and you know what I'm saying, been doing shit. So it's like, who are we to try to, you know, dictate to them how the fuck to, you know, run shit?
Yeah.
But I think when you have the, you know, the American media machine and they get behind the story, it's like at some point you can't do shit about it, because like the images and the rhetoric, you know, is the same thing as the Iraq War, Vietnam. It's like they have a way of, you know, spotlighting and, you know, making you try to feel bad for these people, which you should. But it's like, you know, my nigga, the same shit is happening south of the border. And, you know, I know way more Mexican, Hispanic people that I've come across that's affected by violence, but I've never heard, you know, America be so, you know, show.
I my opinion, I think the United States and Mexico have a pretty good understanding. Stay out of my shit, I stay out of your shit. That's what I think. Because
I
I
mean,
mean, it's kind of surprising the United States ain't been down there to do anything for real,
it
considering
is.
knowing as much as we know.
Because we don't really have a reason to. I
Yeah.
mean, their forces are pretty much trying to stop the shit on their side, and then we
Mhm.
got our side on our side. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
maybe
pretty clear and defined border as well.
yeah. I think like what United States is doing with Ukraine. We gonna stay out of this shit. That ain't our fight. That's our ally. We love
Yeah,
y'all, but we're gonna
that
show
ain't
y'all
not.
some tough love.
Yeah,
That's
so.
what I think.
I think that might be the one playoff matchup that the U.S. don't want, man, to go up against a cartel. What you think?
I agree.
In basketball terms, what would the U.S. and Mexico be in terms of NBA teams?
I say right now, before they got eliminated. No, I ain't gonna. I was gonna say Cleveland would be Mexico. I'll say Brooklyn is Mexico, and I
Mm.
say the United States is. We'll stick with the East. And I say the United States is probably Milwaukee.
Pacers.
Pacers.
Pacers. Okay.
Well, I would say Pacers, but they traded away Sabonis, so the Pacers ain't shit now.
Exactly.
Um, you so stupid. I'm glad I can understand you good enough to know what you're saying.